You're listening to KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine.
The opinions and views expressed in this program do not reflect those of KUCI, its management, or the UC Board of Regents. To find out more about this talk show or other talk shows broadcasting on KUCI, log on to our website at kuci.org or check out the latest program guide.
This is Ashton Marcus, and I'm on location at the Antaeus Theater Company for their presentation of The Caucasian Circle. Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm here with
Lisa Seneca. I'm a company member here at Antaeus, and I'm playing Grusha in The Caucasian Shock Circle. She is tough. She's a survivor. She's compassionate and kind, but she's not perfect. She's human. She's not a saint, but she is a good person in a difficult situation.
If my viewers decide to come out and see this piece, what should they expect to see?
A big, epic spectacle unlike anything they've seen in the theater in a very, very long time. There's always something to look at. There's always something to think about. And I think you will be very highly entertained, and it will make you think and feel.
I agree. Basically, it's almost like, how Jules Verne, they say he was the Steven Spielberg of his time. So if you take a look at his works, it just was like a movie back then, because they didn't have movies back then. But this piece was like a movie in a sense. It took you to mountaintops. It took you to wars. It took you to battles, and you guys enacted it very beautifully.
Thank you very much. I agree. I think that's a very good assessment. I mean, there is sort of a filmic quality about it because we're creating all of these landscapes, and we're asking the audience to use their imagination and go with us in these kind of big things that we're asking you to believe that we're creating.
Well, I also like the story because again, it had wholesome values, but it also it had universal themes to it. That we're always dealing with poverty. We're always dealing with injustice. We're always dealing with we have this problem and no one will solve it. But again, this piece kind of just brings you into a world where things kind of work out.
Yeah, I agree. It has. I think ultimately that's why it's a moving play. It's not just an intellectual play. It asks you to think about these major human issues that are relatable for anybody and everybody.
Once again, I love your performance. I love all the actors' performance because again, they took us into the world. There's no way to do this because you can't bring a mountain on the stage. You know what I mean? Yeah, so you guys were the only ones who did it, and you brought us in it. You guys did it wonderfully.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
All right, thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm here with
Steve Hoffendahl. Come out and see Caucasian Shock Circle. We got a great production here. Hope you can make it.
Great. And which character do you play?
I play Azdak and the singer.
What's your take on your favorite characters?
Well, this is probably my favorite character, not just because I'm doing it right now, but it's a really good character. It's very funny, and it's a great play, which I avoid reading in college. You're supposed to read it, if you have a theater background, and it's really a fun play to do, and people should come see it.
I really like the way you played your character because you didn't make him too noble, but you also didn't make him too slimy or greedy. You know what I mean? You made him like a real person, like a real human being.
Oh, good. Thank you. That's what I was trying to do. Yeah, thanks. Yeah. There's enough going on. You don't need to. That's the cool thing about the writer is that all the characters really are real human beings, and they all got things built into them which make them really human. And there's my favorite parts of the play that I watch when I'm off stage watching are moments where someone either rises to an occasion or caves in and can't get it together, and it's unexpected. And this writer's really good at that.
If my viewers decide to come out and see this piece, what should they expect to see?
They should expect to see a really dynamic, theatrical, innovative, wonderful production of a classic play that's not done very much because it's so huge and it's such a big kind of spectacle play, but it's very intimate. Our theater's very intimate, and they'll really like it. It's like a nice living theatrical fable that they'll dig.
Yeah, I agree. It's almost like seeing a movie or reading a novel. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, going, like I guess almost like a Russian play where it goes through an entire war. Where you see the interesting characters. Not perfect, not totally cartoonish and all that, but entertaining.
Yeah.
And also good moral values. It has a basic value that's universal and something that everyone can enjoy.
Yeah, I agree. That's exactly. Couldn't say it better.
Well, once again, really loved your performance.
Thank you, man.
Yeah. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Okay, thank you. All right, nice to meet you.
Hi, my name's Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm here with...
My name's Turner Frankowski. I'm in Caucasian Shock Circus. This play it's a wild ride. It's a roller coaster. It's Brecht, which is so incredibly timely. Come out and see it. It's unlike any theater piece you've ever seen. It's not naturalism. It's absurd. It's wacky. It's so much fun, and it actually has a lot to say about our time.
Which characters you played?
I play a lot of parts. Everyone in this play plays so many parts. But my main parts are Shava, which is Aug16's assistant, the judge's assistant, and I play a lot of fiddle, and I also play a beggar.
Interesting. So how did you guys come up with the music to this? Because it was actually very well done.
Thank you. We had to do a lot of research about this particular region of the world, which is the Caucasus Mountains, which is Georgia, Armenia, and Azerbaijan. There's a lot of Russian influence and a lot of Asian influence. It's this really good crossroads. So a lot of it was just spent YouTubing music from this region of the world and developing and seeing what sort of music patterns and chord progressions that they use. It was a really challenging research project, and also just sort of pulling and slowing. There's this great thing on YouTube where you slow down the video and really you can learn it really, really well. So it was a complex and long process, but it involved a lot of research.
Yeah, because I noticed the music actually set the meter to the entire play. Their speech patterns, their movement patterns, their marching, their dancing. You know what I mean?
It is a musical. I mean, it really is. It's not a musical like that we see on Broadway, but it is a play with a lot of music, and in that way, it's also very cinematic and grand and epic as well.
If my viewers decide to come by and see this piece, what should they expect to see?
They should see something that's going to blow their mind, that's going to make them think, that's going to make them laugh, it's going to make them feel for something. And if you've never seen a Brecht play, and if you've never seen a play directed by Stephanie Schroyer, you got to come see the show.
Yeah, well, I really enjoyed myself. Again, this was more like, say, something from Jules Verne, where you just go to a wonderful place, you experience the culture, the people, but also you experience a bit of the trauma and basically the injustice going on.
Yeah. I think this play has a lot to do with how an individual's actions affect other things, and a lot of what John Apicella was talking about is how you might think you're doing something good, like a decision might be good, but it can actually be perceived in a different way. Like Grusha takes the child because there's chaos and a coup d'etat that's happening, war is happening, but then you're like, well, you have no right to take that child, and that the whole play stems from that decision for her to take the child, and it's really interesting how that resonates with present day situations, because our politicians and community members are making decisions that actually have more grand reactions than we think that they do, and affect us in many ways, and that's what the play is about.
Well, again, I really enjoyed myself. It was entertaining. It was actually, again, something I bring my son to.
Okay.
So I had a very enjoyable evening today. And I really enjoyed your performances also.
Cool. Thanks so much for coming out. We really appreciate it. It was fun.
Yeah. Also enjoyed the music too.
Great. Thank you. It was great.
Thank you very much for being on the show.
Yeah, thanks. Bye.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine. And I'm here with
Claudia Elmore. I'm an actress in Los Angeles, graduated from the School of Dramatic Arts at USC, which is similar to a lot of us here. And I grew up in Hawaii, and I'm now sort of an LA local after the amount of years that have passed.
Great. And which characters did you play?
I played the governor's wife, Aniko, who was a northern mountain peasant woman, farmer, and I'm part of the ensemble.
So what's your take on the governor's wife?
I'm really glad. I just talked to somebody here, and I was happy to hear that he thought that the play represented both right and left sides, which was something I was worried about, particularly because of characters like the governor's wife in the play that are sort of one-dimensional, at least seemingly written that way. They don't have more lines to kind of express their thoughts. It's kind of just a very sort of strictly like, this is very much a strong point of view, and the way I love my child is I would think peculiar to many people listening, but I think that there's an argument to be had that relates to today, that there are people that don't have the same views about how to raise their kids, and it doesn't necessarily make them wrong or quote unquote bad.
I really like your performance because I always love anti-heroes, and I love villains, and I love character actors. You really made yourself into a character. I mean, not to the point that you were shrill, not to the point you were one-dimensional. I actually thought you actually put a lot of depth in your character.
I'm super happy to hear that, because this is our first time being able to talk to the audience. We've been doing previews and haven't been able to come out. Yeah, that means a lot, and I definitely wanted people to not just write her off as a stereotype, but have a little fun, but also relate on some level, that there's some pang, that there's some kind of connection to her.
You know, there was actually, remember the old story about Solomon, the wisdom of Solomon, where,
Yes.
there was a little baby there that had two mothers,
Yes.
and Solomon said, just chop the baby in half, give both half.
Well, I do know the story of Solomon, but I'm actually really glad you bring that up, because I was making an argument to the director. I was like, now, there are lots of kids in downtown LA, I live in this area, that get abducted. There's trafficking, human trafficking. And anytime you see it on the news, the little kid is right behind the mama, and he gets snatched right out of the door, and the mama turns around, and there's no frickin' way that mom's not going to reach out and try to yank that kid back in. And as far as I'm concerned, the governor's wife operates on that level. And she's not thinking about, I'm going to rip him in two. She's just thinking, there's no way I'm going to let this woman have this kid. You know?
I guess so, but I think the wisdom of Solomon was that, it's basically the wisdom of Solomon wasn't, I know, is because she was so kind that she's the biological mother. It's more like she's the one who should raise this kid.
Yes.
She's the one who loves him the most. Who cares who the biological mother is? Just give it to her. You know what I mean?
Yes, I do. And we all, originally reading the play, felt that way. Like, of course Grusha should have this baby. He's gonna be loved. But my argument, discovering the play and playing the play, makes you go, well, governor's wife loves her too. Nobody knows what that life will be like. How they are behind closed doors. How she loves her baby.
Well, I really love the performance. I love your performance too. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you so much. Nice to meet you.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm here with...
My name's George Villas. As you know, we've met a few times. I was last seen at Theater 40 in a few shows in a play called It Is Done. I've worked at A Noise Within at Pacific Resident Theater and now at Antaeus. Very grateful to have Antaeus open the doors to me here and have Stephanie Schroyer consider me for Brett's Caucasian Chalk Circle.
Great. And which characters did you play?
Oh, well, we all played a number of characters. I was the monk, Shava, the old merchant, and the wounded man in the prologue.
What's your take on your favorite characters?
I don't have any favorite characters because all the characters are so equally important in a play like this. But there's something special about the monk because though he seems a little bit inebriated and having fun, he has a real wisdom about what is going on in the scene, and so he's probably my most fun to play, the most ironic and a little controversial.
If my viewers decide to come by and see this piece, what should they expect to see?
They should expect to see a complete epic theatrical experience. This is a collaborative ensemble piece, and really it takes everybody to tell this incredible story. So they should expect to hear a fable and a story that's told collectively.
First of all, you're going to hear talks about inequality. Basically about what the aristocracy or the upper class should be doing, what the lower class should be doing. Basically who's carrying what, and basically why life is kind of miserable. Yeah. But it'll tell you a bit about it'll tell you other things like good moral values. About if you're a good person, sometimes things do work out.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing is there's such an imbalance in regard to the power structure, and I think this play really examines that because even though the peasants and the people with less, they're the ones that have the highest moral quality and the highest ethical character quality. And so you can't weigh any kind of moral justice based on success. There's a real interesting element in this play that deals with fairness and justice, and what's that difference between fairness and justice?
Actually, something also came to my mind. I've been thinking about this a long time. You know that old story when you were a kid? They told you about, the wisdom of Solomon, where there was his baby, and those two women were saying to the mother, Solomon said, cut the baby in half and give each one the half. Yeah. And the one who said, no, don't do that, give it to the other one. She was the one who was the real mother. But actually, was she really the real biological mother there? It never said that. It never, you know what I mean?
It never really is clear. But, who's really entitled to it? Is it one who's the biological mother or the one who is willing to care for the child in the best way? Because you want the child to have the best quality of care, but not just to be neglected because of its birth mother. So it challenges your position in regard to right and wrong.
Yeah, interesting, but everyone just always says, Solomon was so wise because he found out the real mother. Yeah. That's the only way you can find... No, that wasn't true. No. He was wise because he knew very well this is what's best for the kid.
That's right, really, and that's the most important thing right there, is that regardless of the parents, regardless of the situation, what about what is best for the child? And the child's needs supersede everybody else's in this play. And that's the real beauty, because that's the birth of life, is the child to have an opportunity.
Well, I really enjoyed myself tonight, and I enjoyed your performance also. Yeah, thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you so much. It's always a pleasure to see you, and I look forward to the next time as well.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine. I'm here with...
I'm Michael Khachanov, one of the ensemble members of the Caucasian Chalk Circle at Antaeus Theater. Yes. Yeah, I'm a actor here in Los Angeles, originally from Azerbaijan, of Armenian heritage, and it's really exciting to get to do a play that's set in the world that I came from years ago, and that I get to share some really authentic flavor from there.
Great, and which characters did you play?
My main character is Simon Khachava, the soldier that's in love with Grusha, who's the lead in the play. Yeah, being a soldier, he's different than the other soldiers because he's still, I think, loyal to the governor. But I think I've never been a soldier myself, so I think it's just really wanting to tap into what that could be like, and especially in this time that this play takes place. So trying to bring in that vulnerability and the strength that I really feel that the character embodies.
Great. If my viewers decide to come by and see this piece, what should they expect to see?
To come out to this piece? Well, you're going to see a lot of physical theater. You're going to see an ensemble of 16 actors who will put blood, sweat, and tears into this, working in unison and having each other's backs and really telling an important story.
I like pictures. This piece is very charming. It has very wholesome values. You can actually bring children to it. It has a message behind it. Yeah. And also it was very entertaining.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, there's certainly some portions that are a little, at least PG-13 moments, but yeah, absolutely. I think it's a story everyone can take something away from. Absolutely.
Well, again, I really enjoyed myself tonight. I enjoyed your performance also. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine. And I'm here with...
Hi, my name is Gabriela Bonet, and I'm part of the Caucasian Chalk Circle cast. We've been in this process for 6 weeks now, and we're opening tonight at last. And we're going to be running until August 26th, and it's been very exciting and very revealing in the sense of as our craft as actors. I love it. I think you should come. People should come and enjoy it and see it, and be excited as us.
Great. And which characters did you play?
I'm playing the singer, which is kind of a narrator, the mother, and different ensemble characters are needed. Yes.
You also played the little boy too.
And Oh yeah, and Michael, which is the baby. I'm kind of his guardian angel, if you want to say it like that. But yes.
So what's your take on your favorite characters?
We've been studying like what is Brecht's style and previous experiences. I did my master's in acting at USC. So just the instinct and whatever the character triggers in me, then I keep digging more in that and discovering more behavioral things, and I think that's how I do it.
Yeah. If my viewers decide to come by and see this piece, what should they expect to see?
A lot of excitement, a lot of questions, reflection about just justice and the meaning of it, and yes, I mean there's a lot of subjects that we discuss in the play. That is survival, is justice, is who owns what, but in a very clever and I think it's an experience. I think we get the audience to have an experience. So yeah, it's a new world. So you're gonna come see a new world.
I really enjoyed myself tonight. Plus, I really liked your performance. You threw yourself into it. You twisted your body into interesting forms. You put funny voices, and you really did a really good job performing tonight.
Thank you. One of the things was I really wanted to make sure that there was a difference between each of the characters that I'm representing. And yeah, thank you very much. Yes, I really enjoyed the process of transforming.
Okay, once again, really love the performance, and I love your performance too. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you so much. Have a good one. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm here with...
Hey, Noel Arthur. I'm from the Caribbean. I'm from Trinidad and Tobago. This is my second play at Antioch. The last one I did was Native Son, and I play the Fat Prince and the first lawyer in this production.
What's your take on your favorite characters there?
I get to be a grotesque politician, and this plays a social commentary, a political commentary, and I think it's apropos to do a part like this right now. So he's my favorite. Also, the shapes that I get to do are physically entertaining to me, as well as trying to send a message to the audience.
If my viewers decide to come out and see this piece, what should they expect to see?
A spectacle, and they should expect to be entertained. They should expect to be taken on an epic journey, because that is what Brecht's worlds are. Epic journeys while he is getting you to think, basically, yes.
I was kind of curious on the style, because it seemed like, an old style play, like maybe like in the 1500s, where they basically go out and just entertain. They just go out on
provincial bread and puppet theater kind of. Yeah, well, I guess, yeah, you're right. That's why we kind of take it back old school and start where we started in the lobby, and kind of keep the audience off their equilibrium, because that's how things were. People were just starting. It wasn't about the set or a production value. It's about the message, and it's about connecting to people at a one-to-one level. Yeah.
Also enjoyed the acting a lot, because again, the story was pretty basic. It was a good versus evil story. The characters, there's some interesting characters in there, but again, basically, it was the acting who drove it. You know what I mean? Because it was a very broad. It was like almost went through like an entire war, an entire period of injustice, an entire period of that. And again, the actors drove it very well. That made it very entertaining and kept us captivated.
Yes. Yes, but it also came from our director, who put all of this together and encouraged us to be broad within a container that drove us to keep on telling the story. So I really want to give Stephanie Schroyer the credit of why we were able to be so committed and entertaining in this basic story.
Well, once again, I really enjoyed myself. Even though it was about war, it wasn't a tragedy, you know what I mean? But it still was very light, but again, also, it was very entertaining.
Cool, thank you very much, man. Thank you for coming.
All right, thank you very much for being on the show.
Cheers.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm here with...
Mehrnaz Mohammadi. Tonight was very exciting. It was like the opening night. It's just so exciting to work on a piece of like a play that, like Brecht is an amazing playwright, and I was like so glad to be able to work on like his play.
Great. And which characters did you play?
I played Ludovica and the young lady.
If my viewers decide to come by and see this piece, what should they expect to see?
I think they should expect to see. They should expect to come and see humanity. I think that's what it is, and then get to actually think about some questions. Yeah,
I think they'll see more of a movie than a theater piece, or actually more of a novel. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. It's very episodic. It's not. It doesn't happen in it's not like a beginning, middle, and end. So you see it's like a movie. You know, you see a scene here with someone, and then you see close up, and then you see kind of in a white, something in a white shot, which doesn't happen in theater a lot. So yeah.
Yeah, also a lot of good acting, because again, the actors are the ones who basically carry through the entire story. Because the story wasn't dramatic, even though it was about war. It wasn't about death, you know what I mean? It wasn't about murder. It wasn't about, even though there was a little death in there and all that.
Yeah.
But basically, the actors carried off very well, made very entertaining. So I love you guys' performances.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I really appreciate it. Yeah.
Okay, well, also love your performance. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you so much.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm on KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine. I'm here with
Alex16. I grew up in Irvine, actually, and I'm an actor here in LA. I do audiobooks and theater here, and I'm excited to be part of the Antius production of Caucasian Chalk Circle.
Great. And which characters did you play?
So I play Lavrenti, who is the brother of Grusha, who's the character we follow through the story. I also play a handful of other characters, like a soldier and a doctor and a few others.
I really like the way the actors played this thing, because again, when you're a soldier in the middle of the war, first of all, you're either very heroic or you're really slimy and really barbaric and all that. But you guys played it, again, tough, realistic, but also not too, kind of PG-13. What were your thoughts on that?
Those were challenging characters because as a soldier, you can have any number of feelings about what's going on, the fact that you're there. And for my soldier, I sort of imagined how I would feel if I was thrown into a war zone, being a little bit shell-shocked, but trying to stay strong, and then being really surprised and delighted by this character Aug16 that shows up, and kind of having fun with that, and seeing how the audience reacts to him kind of is how I found my character, basically.
Yeah. If my viewers decide to come by and see this piece, what should they expect to see?
I think you're going to see something highly theatrical that is unusual, because we are not trying to hide the fact that we're doing a play. We are bringing you in, and you are almost a character in the play with us as the audience. We want to see how you're reacting. We will even perhaps talk to you before the show in the lobby and bring you in the theater. And there's a lot of music that the cast and ensemble created. There's movement. It's very physical. It's very fast and very athletic. And I think it's really kind of a great spectacle. It kind of feels like a big fairy tale to me, the story. It's kind of ancient but yet has kind of these universal themes and interesting questions, and I hope it sparks some good discussion.
I think it was kind of like theater in the 1500s. You know what I mean? I mean, not a movie. It was more like the actors had to carry the entire play. You know what I mean? I mean, the piece was nice. It was entertaining, but it wasn't like everyone died at the end. So obviously the arc would just carry you there. No, the actors had to carry you, move you along, and be entertaining. You know what I mean?
Right. It's almost like you could imagine this play happening, this production, almost in any room, just with these actors coming in saying, all right, we're going to do a play. Here we go. All we need is an empty space, and we'll have some instruments and maybe a few props, but we don't need much. We're here. We're going to provide the whole story and create the environment. We're going to have a very simple set. We're going to create a river for you. We're going to create the mountains. We're going to create a bridge that goes across a treacherous, crevasse. And I love that. I think that theater can happen anywhere as long as you have imagination and actors and an audience.
I agree. Once again, really love the performance tonight. Very entertaining. Thank you very much for being on the show.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Yeah, I really loved your performance also.
Oh, thanks very much. I had a great time. I love getting to work with this company, and I'm glad you were here.
The Caucasian Circle will be playing at the Antius Theater Company from July 11th to to August 26th. For more information, go to www.antius.org. This is Ashton Marcus, and I'm on location at Theater 40 for the U.S. premiere engagement of Norm Foster's Renovations for Six. Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm here with...
Hi, my name is Howard Storm, and I directed this wonderful play, Renovations for Six.
So, question. I know you. I loved you from Mork and Mindy. I loved all your sitcoms and all that. Why did you want to do this play? Because you're such a. I'm sure you can do anything you want. Why did you want to do this play?
Well, because it was written by Norm Foster, who is a wonderful playwright. I've done 2 of his plays before, and this play to me was a challenge. Of all 3 plays I've done, this one was not easy. Blocking it, figuring out how to make those things work with 6 people on stage, not relating to each other. And so it was a challenge and fun one, finally.
Yeah, I love the way you did that, because, again, there were times when all 6 players would be coming on, and they were supposed to be in, I guess I'm not giving away the play, where the 6 players are supposed to be in six different spaces and all that, but you guys played so wonderfully. So as a director, for blocking-wise, you did a fantastic job.
Well, thank you. Thank you. And, I allow the actors to block as much as they want to, and then I'll just tweak it, because their instincts, for me, works. If you're playing the role, you get a feeling you want to walk cross stage, then, do that. And then I say, that's fine, only don't go that far, and so forth.
Also, a big part of a director's job is casting. What do you look for in your casting?
Well, I look for an actor that's not going to just give me a reading at the casting, but is going to develop into the character. You can read very well at casting. Radio actors read beautifully, but that doesn't mean they can do a play. And so I look to see that someone to give me the full sense of the play, and understand the play, which they all obviously did.
First of all, again, I loved all the sitcoms you did. This one, I love the timing, the comic timing you did. And me, I love dramatic plays. I love soul-crushing plays. I love this play. I think you just did a fantastic job in the talking, in the voice, in the comic timing and all that. Yeah. And also the actors. The actors you chose were just fantastic. Yeah.
They were, and that's the whole trick. Casting is what it's all about. You get wonderful actors, and they make you look good.
Well, I think you're being modest, because obviously you were in so many great sitcoms, and it was kind of like a sitcom, kind of a little dark though, kind of a little intense, but again, still basically that's what you'd expect, a very funny sitcom. That's what this was.
Well, I don't know. I don't think it was. I thought of it as a very funny play with a big twist at the end that everybody's shocked by, that comes as a big surprise.
I agree. One last question. If my viewers decide to come out and see this piece, what should they expect to see?
6 wonderful actors playing the characters beautifully and bringing the play to life.
I agree. I enjoyed it a lot. Norm Foster, I'm very familiar with his plays. Yeah. Always fascinated by it, because, again, that's not the type of plays I go to. But I just love his work.
Yes.
I love the plays tonight. I love the actors you chose. They were fantastic also.
Thank you. I got lucky with the cast. When you cast properly, then your job is almost 75% done.
Well, once again, thank you very much for being on the show. And once again, I love the performance.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm here with
David Hunt Stafford. Well, I just want to say how much we appreciate you coming to see the production and all of our productions here at Theater 40. This is a wonderful American premiere of a play called Renovations for Six by the great Norm Foster. He's considered the Neil Simon of Canada. He's got about 50 or 60 of these wonderful plays. We've done 5 of them. This is an American premiere, as I said. It's a lot of fun, a lot of laughs, but some touching poignancy in the play also. And we appreciate you coming down. I'm sure all of your listeners would enjoy the heck out of it. So we hope all your listeners will come down and see it.
Great. And which character do you play?
I play Wing Falterman. He's a furniture salesman, 18 years. My wife is trying to get me to go back on the road as a dancer, but I'm trying to hang on to my job, and she's trying to engineer my getting fired. And so I'm all through the play. I'm worried about I'm going to get fired from my job, and it's a lot of fun, a lot of laughs in the show.
I love the interesting characters. I mean, they're not caricatures, but they're all diverse. They represent various stages of marriage, but also very great comic timing between you guys and all that.
Yeah, well, we have a great director, Howard Storm, who's got a lot of experience with comedy, and we worked very hard on it to get the timing down and to get it fine-tuned, and we're real proud of what it looks like right now, and I think the audience is enjoying the heck out of it.
Oh, great. If my viewers do decide to come by and see this piece, what should they expect to see?
Comedy with some touching moments also. There's a serious undertone to the play, but there are a lot of hearty laughs in the play. And it's a play that's never been done in America. This is the American premiere of this play by Norm Foster. So what they will expect to see is a wonderful play, and they should expect to have a very good time.
Yeah, well, I love the piece also. First of all, I love the acting. It wouldn't be the same play without the actors. They were charming, they were witty, they were spontaneous, they connected with the audience well. When I went into it, I knew I would kind of enjoy it, but I like soul-crushing plays. I like, when people die, I love those things. But this play, at the end of it, I just loved the piece. It tied together so beautifully, had a deep message behind it, and it was more than I expected.
Yes, it's Norm Foster's a very talented, very prolific playwright out of Canada, and this is, as I said, was one of his newest plays, but it's really loaded with heart and pathos and comedy, and it's very touching and very, very funny. So we're proud to present it, and we're very grateful to Norm for giving it to us.
Once again, love the performance. I loved your performance also.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much for being on the show.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm here with...
I'm Martin Thompson.
Great. Can I get either a brief bio of you, an introduction, or just anything you want to say?
Sure. I started acting in New York, and now I'm here in L.A., and I'm doing this show here at Theater 40.
Great. And which character do you play tonight?
I play Maurice. He's married to Veronica. Maurice wants to be an artist. He wants to be a writer, so he quit his lucrative job as an engineer, and his wife is having to support both of them, and she resents that.
I love the performance, and actually, for some strange reason, I really loved your character. Usually, I love villains. I love people real complicated. Your character, I don't know. It was very charming, very eloquent. Flowed very well with the play and all that. But at the same time, there was this bombshell in it. It showed that he was actually going through something.
Yeah. Well, all the characters in the show are going through something that eventually comes out. But you don't expect the bombshell from Maurice and Veronica in this show. So it's fun. It's fun.
Yeah. If my viewers decide to come and see this piece, what should they expect to see?
Well, you should expect to see a very funny show with some wonderful comedy by Norm Foster, and 6 actors who are at the top of their game and having a good time on stage.
I agree. Basically, the director again, Howard. He actually did a lot of sitcoms, so it's kind of like that where the whole play would be about people talking, but talking about these issues. Because if you look at this play, it talked about philosophy, it talked about psychology, it talked a little bit about dysfunction between families and all that. And again, even though it's talked about all that stuff, I can identify with a lot of it. Because, I'm married myself,
Right. Yeah, we've all been there, done that. Yeah. And, this is full of, relationship things that every relationship goes through at some point. And what's interesting about this play is we've got 3 different couples at 3 different ages going through 3 different issues that all relationships go through. And so we can laugh at that because we've been there, done that,
Yeah, I'm actually surprised I like this so much because I'm the type of guy who likes soul-crushing plays. Complex villains, complex characters. These were about wholesome people. Well, yeah, they're about wholesome people. It was about normal family life, but it was very witty, very intellectual. Great comic timing, too. And the actors themselves, you in particular, I just loved your performance.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thanks for coming. We really enjoyed having you.
Right, well, thank you very much for being on the show.
You're very welcome. Thanks so much.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm here with...
I'm Mona Lee Wild. Well, we're here playing at Theater 40 in this wonderful Norm Foster play called Renovations for Six.
Great, and which character do you play?
I play Veronica Dunduday.
What's your take on Veronica?
Oh, she's pretty much just a very professional. She's, just real hard-nosed professional and thinks she's better than everyone, of course.
Well, I love the performance tonight. But basically, if my viewers decide to come by and see this piece, what should they expect to see?
Just a lot of laughs and fun time, I hope.
I actually thought it was. Well, first of all, it was kind of like it was a comedy.
Yes.
Was it a dark comedy? Kind of yes, kind of no.
Well, tonight we went a little dark. I noticed places got darker than they usually would. But it's a whole mix of things. It's a whole mix of things. But hopefully we get you laughing. It's fun.
Well, first of all, I was fascinated by the banter. I thought it was very witty, very intellectual. It was philosophical, psychological at the same time.
Yes, it was.
I personally identified with a lot of it, because I'm married, and you always have interpersonal problems. As a man, you always have insecurity. So it covered so much stuff about the human condition.
Yes, it did. It does. It absolutely does. From all ranges too, of the young to the older couple. Yes, to the crazy ditzo. That Gail's played. Yes.
I also love the acting. Particularly loved your acting because again, you were very sophisticated, but at the same time very broken. You know what I mean? I mean, very, very, very confident, very strong, very, very almost like a leader, but at the same time covering, shrouding over a deep hurt that I guess made you stronger. You know what I mean? It was kind of like a facade. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yes. Thank you. Precisely. Good for you. You got it.
Well, I love your performance. I love the performance tonight too. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you. Thank you for being here.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm here with
Rebecca Driscoll. I'm excited to be here. I'm glad that you came, and I hope you enjoyed the show.
Great. And which character did you play tonight?
I played Shayna Perkins. I think that she is strong. Most people would probably assume that she's ditzy or, maybe a little strange, but she's actually a very strong woman, and I think it sends a good message.
Yeah, actually, I noticed all the women were strong women. It's kind of like in the family, they weren't like these housewives. Even though some of them weren't working, a couple of them weren't working. They actually, again, were dominant forces. Sometimes the men would call them insensitive because they were so dominant, you know what I mean? But again, that's part of being a strong character.
Yes, I think Norm Foster particularly is great at accessing that. He's really good at writing for women. It's wonderful to have a male writing for women that can actually access that voice.
Great. If my viewers decide to come out and see this piece, what should they expect to see?
They should expect to have fun, maybe cry, maybe laugh, hopefully both.
I actually love the diversity of the actors. Basically, the characters, some were extremely sophisticated, some were down to earth, some were kind of shy, some were kind of bold and all that. Very lovely mix of characters.
Yeah, absolutely. I think all of us as individuals really provide a lot, and we help to fortify this play. We all have different relationships, and I think it makes for a really dynamic show.
Yeah, and actually the comedy between them, because even though they're such diverse people, they interplayed with each other. I guess it kind of reflects a bit about the family dynamics they have in regard to that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I think that the good thing is everyone can relate. Everyone in the audience, no matter their creed, no matter their religion, no matter their age, they can all relate to this story.
Well, I love the performance. I love your performance tonight also. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you so much.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm here with
Lane Compton. I'm playing Grant Perkins. As Gail was just saying, it's a story of three different couples, all at different stages in life, but I think beauty that he's written in there is that all couples are still dealing with the same things. At any point, you're always in renovations with your life, which is the title of the piece, Renovations for Six, and that's, I think, worked in here. We're all working on our relationships. At any stage you're in, I think everybody's doing that, and I think that's why it's extremely relatable. relatable as a piece.
Great. And which character do you play tonight?
I play Grant Perkins. Grant has reached a new stage in his life. He's very excited to have the opportunity he's always wanted. He's working his way up, doing his best, and he's just relocated, he and his wife, hoping for new and better things, and he's the type of guy that'll sacrifice anything to do that. He wants the very best for himself, and he's doing the best he can to get him and his family in that direction.
Very complicated character, not what he seems to be, you know what I mean? So again, I think you guys you played it fantastically, but if my viewers decide to come by and see this piece, what should they expect to see?
Well, they're going to see a lot of laughs. It's just a very relatable piece. I think you're going to find yourself seeing yourself up there, and I think that's where the beauty of comedy is you can see yourself in just about any one of these characters, and you're going to see some things you didn't expect. A couple curveballs are going to come your way, and I hope that it keeps you on the edge of your seat.
Well, I love the piece, and again, because it was a comedy, great comic timing, connected with the audience very well, very dynamic characters, very diverse characters too. I love the performance you guys did.
Thank you very much. Appreciate your coming.
Great. And thank you very much for being on the show.
You're very welcome.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine. And I'm here with...
I'm Gail Johnston. Well, I'm delighted to be doing this play. I've done 3 Norm Foster plays here, and they're just great. This was the most difficult.
Great. And which character you play tonight?
Billy. She's an ex-chorus girl. She says what she wants, does what she wants, says it exactly the way it should be, and is really a nice person.
I love the characters. Whether they're like ditzy characters, whether they're like sweet, innocent characters, or whether they're overbearing, or just insensitive, micey characters. It was just such a diverse mix. I just loved it.
This play is just wonderful because we're all entirely different. We're just having the best time. This was very difficult to do because we overlap each other, and we have to come in over somebody, and they're back and forth, but it's just been great. And my character, she's a lot of fun because she is the spokesperson of the group. She tells it like it is and doesn't take any crap.
If my viewers decide to come by and see this piece, what should they expect to see?
They should check the theater out. I don't know if they've been to Theater 40, but it's like a tiny taper. This is not a black box theater. This is a tiny taper, and the production is superb, and it wins all these awards, this theater, Theater 40.
I love the performance tonight because basically it's so identifiable because I'm married. It talks about family lives. It talks about these characters that they seem like either your father or your uncle or your brother or something like that.
There are 3 stages of life. There's young, middle, and old, or older. I never say old, but older.
Well, I love the performance tonight. I loved your performance also. Everyone, their timing was fantastic. It was hilarious because of that and all that. The accents, the culture, just the very message. I loved it.
Thank you so much. Please come to see our play. We think it's really great. Norm Foster is considered the Neil Simon of Canada, by the way.
That's right.
Wrote this.
Once again, I loved your performance. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you so much.
Renovations for Six will be playing at Theater 40 from July 18th to August 18th. For more information, go to www.theater40.org. This is Ashton Marcus, and I'm on location at Atwater Village Theater for the Open Fist Theater presentation of Dancing at Lunasa. Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm here with
Scott Roberts. We're doing Dancing at Lunasa, and it's a great, emotional Irish play, and it's definitely worth coming to check out. That's what I would say.
Great. And which character do you play?
I play Jerry, the Welshman, who comes and is sort of the romantic guy who tries to come back and reconcile with one of the Irish daughters. Jerry's a wanderer trying to make sense of his life and trying to find the worth in it and trying to redeem himself and sort of caught between worlds, I would say.
I really liked your take on Jerry. First of all, he was very charming. He was very charismatic, but at the same time, he was kind of like, I'm not sure if he was just ill fit for the world. He was, I don't know what it was, but he just couldn't seem to, be a success, you know what I mean? And I'm not sure if it's just the country he was living in, the small town he was from. Maybe he was just a big dreamer who couldn't find anyone to support him. You know what I mean?
For sure, I'm a dreamer who, does get caught between worlds, and, I live in the moment for everything that sort of comes up and try to enjoy that because I can't really make sense of the real world. And I think it's the 30s. Employment's tough. There's not a lot of money, and I want to do something that brings me joy, and it's so difficult to find. And I think I'm constantly moving and searching, and I think that archetype of a dreamer in Irish folklore is sort of very strong. This idea of the drifter and the dreamer, it's very much part of that Irish tradition. So even though I'm a Welshman, it's definitely woven into this play by Brian Friel.
So if my viewers decide to come out and see this piece, what should they expect to see?
They should expect to see a very Irish play that's funny but tragic, and I think it's about the struggles of not only this time but of women and of trying to find your place in the world. And I think it's a very emotional sort of memory play, but it's got sort of wonderful elements of kitchen sink realism, but also sort of this abstract sort of memory that you go on a ride of the youngest son remembering growing up in the 30s with his mother and the 5 aunts and the difficulties of that, but also the joys of it. And I think that's what is the heart of this play.
I agree in the sense it's a tragedy, but it's not a tragedy like a Shakespearean tragedy where everyone dies at the end. You know what I mean?
Right.
But it is a tragedy, and this one, I actually think it has something to do with the Irish Catholic. It's like to be a good Catholic, you have to suffer. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. God is. You're depending upon the graces of God. Your family also suffers, so you suffer with them.
Right.
But they probably had good times. But again, as an Irish Catholic, he probably remembered, no, these are the bad times, are the most precious to me, because that's when God helped me. That's when my family helped me, and that's when we were the happiest. I don't know why, but when we were suffering, we were the happiest. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and for sure. I mean, even when everything around them is crumbling, when society is shunning them, when there's no money, when there's nothing, all they have is each other, and then when that dissolves, that's really the heartbreak of the play. That kind of breaks because it's really the outer forces of the world that rip that apart. And in some ways, and I won't give away all that happens, but when the sisters, something happens and they sort of sacrifice for the greater good, for the family. And again, I think there's something very Irish in that and very proud in that. And there's so much that's Irish in this play, that the music and the dancing and the joy and the heartbreak. So I think that's what makes it such a moving experience.
Well, I really enjoyed myself tonight. Plus, I really liked your character because I love anti-heroes. I think they're more complicated. I think there's more. Your character was a real leading man. He was really charming, real charismatic. I would have bought a radio from this guy. But the thing about it also, he was realistic. He was like, he just couldn't. It was like the Great Depression. He couldn't get work. He couldn't sell things. And again, he suffered because of that. And he had to give up at times. He had to be a jerk sometimes. He had to be a loser sometimes. But again, it was just very real.
Yeah, I mean that's. I'm glad you got all that. Yeah, I mean that's. I think that the heart of it is that, this mercurial kind of character that is constantly trying to change and fit in and have value and to have worth and I think that's sort of the ride that you go on with Jerry. So it's a great role.
Yeah, plus also it was you who controlled the character. In a sense, it was like, okay, I'm a loser, so I'm going to become a loser. I'm, basically, I'm being shunned, so I'll be a person who's shunned. No, I'm still Jerry. This is me. Look at me. I'm Jerry.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, you're always on the side of your character. I mean, and I think when I read this initially, it seems like, oh, he's just sort of, a gigolo and kind of a little loose. But I think the other side of that is, there is something that he's really searching for and really wants, and I think that's what sort of drives him. Even though he kind of gets a little playful and kind of loses his way, he still sort of he wants to find meaning, and even though he sort of ends up in some strange circumstances sometimes, I think that's the heart of him,
Once again, love the way you played. I really enjoyed myself in the performance.
All right.
Yeah. Thank you very much for being on the show.
All right. Thank you so much.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm here with
Christopher Capiello. Well, we just opened Dancing at Lunasa at the Open Fist Theatre Company, and I'm playing Father Jack, who's been in Uganda for 25 years and returns to Donegal to his 5 unmarried sisters. I think Father Jack is looking for joy. He's looking for the joy in life, and he thought he found it in the Catholic Church, being a priest, being a missionary in Africa, and then he found greater joy, greater love in the the local traditions in his village in Uganda, and that's what he brings back with him to Donegal. But I think it's all about looking for joy.
You know, the old colonialists, they had this term going native, in which basically they would stop siding with the government and start embarking on the native traditions and all that. Right. Was that what he was doing? Was he tired of the stuffiness of the Catholic Church, the rituals, the hypocrisy, if you don't mind me saying, and then going, say, it's embracing the carefree nature of the people? Or what was it? What do you think he was doing?
Well, I think the play in general, I think Brian Friel is juxtaposing the pagan Celtic traditions of the Lunasa Festival and the African traditions with the more rigid, uptight Irish Catholic traditions of Donegal, and how those have held the sisters back. And Father Jack, as you said, missionaries, a lot of them were very cruel, very brutal to the people they were there to convert, supposedly. And Father Jack has taken the opposite tack. He has embraced those traditions and become part of the local community. He refers to that as home, when I go home to Uganda. So, I think you're right.
If my viewers decide to come by and see this piece, what should they expect to see?
I think you'll see a universal story of family, of longing, of yearning, of unfulfilled dreams, and of faith.
I saw basically, a very Catholic story where basically, again, it talked a lot about the suffering in a person's life. There's many happiness in it, but in a sense, the suffering was a nobility. It showed your love, your devotion to God and all that. It also showed, that you were a family person, that when family was going through problems, you were with them and all that. So basically, I saw it as an encapsulation of a person's life, but again, they remembered the tough times, basically.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the sisters has a child out of wedlock, which at that time in Ireland, a lot of times they'd send that girl away, have her give birth, and then the baby would be in an orphanage or they would never see her again. But this family has embraced the child, and they're raising him with 5 unmarried sisters. They're kind of shunned by the community. We get the sense that the local priest doesn't approve. So they're very brave. I think they're very brave women and ahead of their time.
Agreed, because back then, again, to be a strong woman, again, you're not going to be president, you're not going to be like a senator or even a policeman or something like that. You're going to be going through a life like them, where, they're kind of like spinsters, where they have to basically fend for themselves. They have to support themselves. They have to be a community among themselves. So they were, in my opinion, back then, the typical strong women. You know what I mean?
They had to be, and they were very poor. Kate, one of them, is a school teacher. That's almost the only income in that household. And so, it was a very hard life they had, very hard. They had to be strong women.
Yeah, well, I really enjoyed the performance. I loved your performance. I love your wildness, your character, your goofiness, but at the same time, very believable, and also very, the audience actually felt for you too. That connected to you. You know what I mean?
Well, thank you. I'm glad it came off that way, because that's how I think he is. I think he is genuine. He's genuine in his love and his joy for life, and he wants to share that with his sisters. And there's almost an innocence about it. But I'm glad it came off that way, because that's what we're shooting for.
Okay. Well, once again, I love your performances. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you for being here.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm here with
Lane Allison. I love this show. I really hope lots of people come out and see it, because it's a wonderful classic, and I think we do a lovely new take on it. And please come out to the Open Fist.
Great. And which character do you play?
I played Maggie. Maggie, as Michael says at the top of the show, she's kind of the joker of the family, the clown, but she's also, I think, a big part of the heart of the household, and she loves to make people laugh, but she also feels things very deeply and cares for every single one of her family members deeply.
Basically, you need a little humor in the family, and you always have, even if the sky is falling down, you always have one person in the family just wisecracking, just being a clown, you know what I mean?
True, very, very true. I think that's true in every family, and I'm really, really honored to get the chance to play Maggie and to have Barbara direct this piece in the way that she has. Her vision has been incredible.
Great, and my viewers decided to come out and see this piece. What should they expect to see?
They should expect to see a lot of heart, a lot of fun. They should expect to maybe get a few tears going for themselves at different times, but then very quickly followed again by laughter. And I think that, when you come out, you're also going to see some brilliant acting and directed by a brilliant director.
I agree. I was really really blown away by the acting, because this piece is a tragedy, but it's not a tragedy like everyone dies at the end. And those are actually very easy to do. Because, if everyone dies, you just go with it, just start crying, just do a death scene. But again, when basically you're dealing with poverty, day by day, drip by drip, rolling a boulder up the hill and having it fall down, then that's kind of hard. And you guys did it beautifully.
Oh, thank you so much. That's so lovely to hear. We really appreciate you coming and supporting us. You're always here at the Fest, and we really appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay, once again, love the performance. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Of course. Thank you for having us.
Great, and I really love your performance today.
Thank you. Thank you. Cheers.
Dancing at Lunasa will be playing at Atwater Village Theater from July 12th to August 18th. For more information, go to www.openfist.org.